For me, it's about the law and people. How am I supposed to quantify the value of these things when I don't have evidence?
I'm sorry.
And how people can resolve their problems and just be better for it.
Justice with passion.
I always knew I was going to go into law because I tried to see everybody's point of view in an argument. You say one thing, she says another. So who am I to believe?
Justice with truth.
Either you make the decision or I make the decision. You won't like mine.
This is Justice for All with Judge Cristina Perez. Anita Samuels is suing Cynthia Branch in the amount of $450. Ms. Samuels claims a crystal chess set given to her by her late son was shattered after she loaned it to her neighbor, and says Ms. Branch needs to pay for the damage.
Okay, Ms. Samuels and Ms. Branch, I understand you guys are neighbors of sorts. Is that correct? You
Yes.
live in the same community?
Your Honor, yes, we are in the same
And
community.
you are here suing your neighbor for $450.
Yes, Your Honor.
Explain why.
I am suing Cynthia Branch for $450 because she damaged my chess set while it was in her possession. I regret having to come to court to resolve this issue, but it was given to me by my son, who has passed away, and it is irreplaceable.
So it has sentimental value.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So what happened?
Well, Your Honor, she came to me and expressed that she wanted to use the chess set on a date, and I do support her in finding someone, and there has been some friction between us, so I wanted to show goodwill. And I lent her the chess set, and I was very clear that she needed to be very careful with it.
Okay, and tell me about the chess set. What does it look like? What is it made out of? Wood?
It is a beautiful chess set, and the pieces are made of crystal.
Oh, wow.
Yes, yes. And I am so lucky to have this beautiful chess set from my son.
So why let her borrow something so delicate and so meaningful?
Well, Your Honor, as I said, since there had been friction between us,
Why was there friction between you guys?
well, this is a beautiful 55-plus community, and there had been different parties, and I was not invited, and barbecues, and she was in charge of the festivities, and I wanted to show her goodwill so that we could all live harmoniously in the community. So
You two weren't really friends?
Acquaintances, more or less, Your Honor.
And why was she not invited to all these community events? Ms. Branch?
They weren't really of her type of interest. Most of them were music events, so I just figured she wasn't interested in what I was interested in, and likewise.
Okay,
So
all
I
right, but that
kinda went from
obviously
there.
bothered you. Okay, so you felt that you needed to be the bigger person and let her borrow your prized possession, very sentimental, very delicate, made out of glass chess set.
Yes, Your Honor.
You trusted her enough to do that?
I was very clear in my instructions to her to be very careful with it.
Okay, and you understood that?
I understood that, yes.
And did you see and why borrow her chess
Well,
set?
I was really hesitant to ask her if I could borrow it, but it was the only chess set in the community, and I knew that it had belonged to her son, and I wanted, I took every precaution with it.
But you still borrowed it. Okay, all right. So then what happened? You take this chess set to your date. Where is your date? At the community, in the living, where you all live?
He visited me in the community center. He's the manager of our big box store, Charles.
Okay.
And
So your date was in the community rec room?
we just met in the community room to play chess.
Okay. All right. And then what happened, Ms. Samuels?
Well, I would have thought twice about loaning her the chess set had I known that the date was with Charles.
Why?
Because I have been seeing Charles, and I have been manifesting Charles, and I have told everyone that will listen to me that Charles is going to be my next husband. Oh. He is my man.
Oh.
And
Are you dating Charles?
yes,
How many times have you gone out with Charles?
it's about 5 times.
Okay. Did you know she was dating Charles?
I had no idea, and Charles is a big flirt, and he flirts with everyone.
So Charles is the player here.
I'm afraid part of her argument is with Charles and not with me.
So you had no idea that,
I had
That the
no
plaintiff-
idea that she was manifesting Charles.
or dating him.
Anything to do with Charles? Well, I assume that most of the women in our center know Charles.
Okay. Was it public knowledge that you were dating Charles?
In my opinion, yes. I
Okay.
had told,
How many people knew that you were dating?
I've told 20 people.
Many people. Okay, but she had no idea.
I don't know that, Your Honor.
Okay.
Coming up on Justice for All.
She was a few feet away, and I realized, oh, she's mad about something. And I had the bishop in my hand, and she knocked the bishop out of my hand, and she said, checkmate.
And later,
Tell me about the special request.
So she
you
wanted
for
a
today.
$750 bottle of Casa tequila
What?
on top of the $5,000 payment that she
So
would
you
get
wanted to be
perform.
worth $6,000?
if you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. You're watching Justice for All with Judge Cristina Perez. We're back with the case of Anita Samuels, who is suing Cynthia Branch for property damage.
So then how did you find out it was Charles?
I went downstairs and I saw them playing chess.
So when you saw her and Charles play, what did you see?
I saw them laughing and jostling with each other. The chess set was somewhat close to the edge of the table, and this made me concerned.
And then what happened next then, Ms. Samuels?
Well, I went back upstairs. I figured that Charles was just playing a game of chess with her and that she had misunderstood it as a date.
So who cares? Yeah.
So I went up and put on Charles's favorite dress so I could go down and talk to him.
And what was your intent when you put on this dress and go downstairs and let them know what?
The intent was to clear it up. She had come to me to say it was a date, but he's dating me, so
Okay.
it wasn't, in my opinion,
All
a
right,
date.
so you change into this dress.
Yes.
You walk downstairs and walk me through what happened, and then I want you to walk me through what happened as she enters with this dress on.
Okay, well, I was upset when I saw the situation, and it was my understanding that he was my man, and I saw that they were playing chess, and I took one of the chess pieces and I put it down on the chessboard and I said, checkmate. And
No, you didn't.
yes, Your Honor, I did.
Were you startled when she did that?
Oh, yes.
Did you see her coming?
Well, what can I tell you this
Yeah.
from my perspective? Charles and I, first of all, the chess set was in between us, and it was very secure on the table. The table was a little bit bigger than the chess set, and we were paying attention. And I did tell Charles that I borrowed this set, so
From
we
her?
need to be careful of it.
Did you say that you borrowed it from Anita?
I didn't say the name, so
Okay.
because again, I didn't know she had marked her territory around Charles. I had no idea that was going on.
Oh, I guess 55 and over is where it's at. I don't know.
Yes. Oh, yes. So I saw Nita come in, and I waved to her, and she didn't look right, and she walked out. And then a few minutes later, she came back in, and she had poured herself into this beautiful red dress that was really inappropriate for the middle of the day in the community center.
Really? What did it look like?
It was quite startling, and it's quite stunning. And, you know, as you can see, she can manifest a man, no problem. But, you know, so I was stunned. And then as she was walking over towards us, she was a few feet away, and I realized, oh, she's mad about something. And I had the bishop in my hand, and she knocked the bishop out of my hand, and she said, checkmate. And the bishop went flying, and I was so stunned, I jumped up and inadvertently hit the table, which flew the chess set all over the place. And it hit Charles, and the crystal was broken. Your Honor, I am so sorry about this event.
How many pieces broke?
I think there might be about a half dozen, and there were some of them that were like little pieces. So we tried to clean it up, and I feel terrible about this. I have no intention of harming Nita's chess set. And
Yeah.
I know how much that means to her.
So I understand you received an estimate to fix or create the new glass pieces to replicate them?
Yes, Your Honor.
And that's the total of the $450?
Yes, Your
Okay.
Honor.
Could I see your estimate, please?
Yes, Your Honor.
And anything else you want to add, Ms. Branch?
Well, I found an exact same chess set that we can replace the broken pieces onto her son's piece. So we just put the two together and create a whole new one for $350, which I think is more reasonable, but I also wanted to split that with her because she does, in my opinion, she does hold some responsibility for the chess set getting broken.
Okay. We have something very unique here. Ms. Branch is willing to pay you some money because she feels responsible. It is rare to ever have a defendant who is just clearly so, I don't want to use the word morally, but I'm going to, but really understands the difference between right and wrong and is going to take responsibility and accountability because she realized it was in my possession. I think it's very fair that she pay you
$75.
$175. That's fine. I was going to do less, but you said $175 towards the fee. Because in a way, Ms. Samuels, I think you had a good part in this, okay? So I will find, and I will take the defendant's offer, that she will reimburse you $175. That will go towards the $450 estimate to fix your son's chess piece. So based on the evidence, I will grant the plaintiff's claim in part only in $175. Good luck, ladies.
Thank you.
Judge Perez has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant has been ordered to pay $175.
I hope we can put this behind us. We have a nice community. We should be able to get along.
I don't really agree with the judgment. And had I known what you were using the chess set for, this would never have happened.
Thank you.
Coming up on Justice for All.
So was $5,000 a lot of money for somebody who's kind of semi-starting and is kind of not known?
It's a good amount, but I feel like it's an amount that other venues have been able to accommodate me with.
Closed captioning provided by Justin Yang is suing Casey Richmond in the amount of $5,000. Mr. Yang claims the singer he hired refused to perform after her dressing room requests were not met, and says Ms. Richmond's diva demands were never part of the agreement.
Okay, Mr. Yang, I understand you are an entertainment promoter. Is that correct?
Yes.
And we are here today suing Ms. Casey Richmond because she failed to perform a contract to sing at a venue that you hosted, correct?
Correct.
You paid her $5,000 and she didn't sing.
Correct.
She sang for a minute?
No, she didn't perform at all.
Okay. And why did you pay her $5,000?
Per the contract, she was supposed to perform. I paid her $2,500 when she signed the contract, and then $2,500 when she arrived to perform.
All right. What happened?
So I hired her because I had seen her on social media. She's an up-and-coming artist, so I decided to reach out to her team and propose to her the idea to have this party and for her to perform.
Ms. Richmond, are you just well known in social media? Tell me a little bit about yourself.
I just released my debut album last year, and I'm very popular within my area and within my circle, and I do have some social media notoriety.
Okay, so your area and circle is your city? Or?
Yes, my city.
Okay. Outside of that, not really just social media?
I'm just starting out. I've been doing a lot of
Social
local
media?
venues and corporate events, but I'm really ready to bring my career to the next step.
Okay. So was $5,000 a lot of money for somebody who's kind of semi-starting and is kind of not known?
It's a good amount, but I feel like it's an amount that other venues have been able to accommodate me with. So I felt like it wasn't out of reach for this event to pay me that
All
much
right.
money.
So you agreed then, Mr. Yang, to $5,000.
Coming up,
If you want to be savvy in the business, be savvy in the business. Don't be dumb. You didn't even perform.
you're watching Justice for All with Judge Cristina Perez. We're back with the case of Justin Yang, who is suing Casey Richmond for breach of contract.
I have the contract in front of me, but tell me what the intent was.
So the intent was for her to perform the holiday party. This was like her first performance at the time, and this was like something that I had never done before. So I thought it could be something that was big and impactful for both of us.
It was not my first performance. Maybe it's the first one that you were familiar
All right,
with.
so let him finish. So go ahead.
She is claiming that the specifications on like what she wanted
What you mean the
entirely-
special requests that she
The
wanted?
special request, yeah.
Tell me about the special
So
request.
she
you
wanted
for
a
the venue.
$750 bottle of Casa tequila on top of the $5,000 payment that she
So
would
you
get
wanted to be
perform.
worth $6,000 for 30 minutes?
Yes,
A
I feel like
$750 tequila. Why do you want to drink tequila when you're performing for 30 minutes?
it's just the principle of the matter. I have a whole team surrounding me that comes with me for these
No, but
events.
the team is not part of the contract. The team is between you and Mr. Gang. I mean,
Yes.
I mean, come on, $750 bottle of tequila?
She also requested 3 dozen of white roses. I did provide her flowers that were white. They were just assorted.
Okay.
So they weren't specifically roses, but they were still flowers. I was providing these things for her dressing room, not for her performance
Exactly.
itself. And as I was taking her to her dressing room, that's when was looking at her team and said that she needed to talk to them for a second.
Okay. And why did you need to talk to your team?
Because I could immediately see that the requirements weren't being met.
What requirements?
Of the dressing room, the roses being missing, the tequila being wrong, the vegetable platter not being set up. And I am used to people trying to shift the contracts and take advantage of young talent, and I wasn't having it.
Okay, so you decided to breach the contract.
Yes, as a matter of principle.
All right. We're kind of done because you just admitted you breached the contract.
Oh.
Judge Perez's verdict when Justice for All returns. You're watching Justice for All with Judge Cristina Perez.
The client agrees to pay the artist a sum of $5,000 for the performance. So you are honestly telling me that you have the right to keep $5,000 for not even singing 1 second.
I feel like it's the principle of the matter. I had $2,500 to
All
save
right,
the
so,
date.
So
and
let me tell you, if you want to be savvy in the business, be savvy in the business. Don't be dumb. You didn't even perform. All right? So, based on the evidence, the plaintiff met his end of the bargain. Regardless of these special requests, the value of the contract for you performing was not having all these requests. Therefore, you breached the contract. You owe him $5,000 back. So based on that, I will grant the plaintiff's claim in the amount of $5,000. Good luck.
Judge Perez has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant has been ordered to pay $5,000.
God doesn't like ugly.
I hope you can take advantage of some young performers next time again.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.